Back with you tonight. Now, Gauteng crime statistics show that the province recorded 45.2% increase in murders. Among areas notable for a high rate of contact crimes is Johannesburg Central, which came in at number 1. Kagiso ranked number 5, while Diepsloot came in at number 12 out of 14 areas of high level of contact crimes. We are joined now by the Johannesburg Central CPF Chairperson, Saleem, Thokan, as well as the Kagiso Police Station Commander Brigadier Themba, Maduna. We've been trying to get a hold of the Community Policing Forum Secretary Kutlwano Moalosi in Diepsloot. We'll keep on trying. I'm sure we'll be able to get him tonight, but otherwise we will always get him and get reaction from the gentleman. Good evening, and thank you very much for your time and for joining us tonight here on In Focus. You can, of course, be a part of the conversation tonight by sending us your comments and participating in the show by sending those comments to 072 110 5584. Otherwise, tweet us tonight at Newzroom 405. Brigadier Maduna, good evening, and let me begin with you. I mean, Kagiso, Randfontein are the stations which are part of the national top 30 police stations where most contact crime incidents had been reported, according to the statistics given by General Mawela. Some are saying the South African police are clearly not coping, and citizens need to be empowered to hold the police accountable for their failures. What do you say?
Thank you once again. The provincial commissioner was correct to say the moment in the West Rand district, it's Kagiso, SAPS, as well as Randfontein that shows a spike, and they fall within top 30 police station. However, we're trying our level best to minimize this high level of crimes. But what is happening is both police stations, which is Randfontein as well as Kagiso, we're definitely cooperating with the communities. Why am I saying this? In Kagiso per se, as a police station, we're having 5 sectors. So, and in all those 5 sectors, we do have the subsector forums, where we'll be having the chairperson of those subsector forums. And then we're also holding meetings with the relevant role players so that we can be able to give statistics in terms of crime. But normally what is happening during the course of the year, when we give feedback in terms of crime, we don't give feedback in terms of figures because those figures are not purified. We only wait up until when the national commissioner pronounced in the parliament to say this is the current state of affairs in both police stations. However, what I wanted to say is to show that we are available for the community and we cooperate. We also having the provision and assistance of the community safety, where they provided us with a mobile police station. And this mobile police station that we're having, we distributed it in terms of all the wards in Kagiso so that we can be able to try our level best to meet whoever that is available in our policing precinct and be able to discuss issues that are actually of a challenge within our space.
Yeah. Saleem, welcome. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Johannesburg Central Police Station ranking number 1 on contact crimes. What is the nature and the extent of community participation in the policing of this particular region?
If I may just go back a little bit. 2018, October 30th. Kagiso was one of the stations, Hillbrow and Johannesburg Central. Same story, same problem. We were summoned to Parliament by the Portfolio Committee regarding the same thing. I brought the document with me. It shows you exactly the same stats in 2018. And we gave them a document. The Portfolio Committee, the Minister of Police was there, the National Commissioner, Provincial, all of them were there. We presented. And exactly what's coming out is being shown again 4 years down the line. Now, you don't need to be a rocket scientist. Look at it. The community is crying out. They're giving input. If somebody can listen, talk to us, as community, as business, as a broader community, they will assist and help in this whole problem.
Yeah.
Because it's not a problem for me and you, it's for all of us.
Right.
Because we live there, we work there, we eat there, we shop there, we do everything
Right.
there. If they can only listen to opinions, and where the biggest problem with policing comes is it's a top-bottom approach. If they can change it from the bottom to top, that means, you know, the
what are the barriers? What are the barriers to them wanting to centralize the policing?
You know, to be fair, you know, if you are running a business, we run a national business, right? We've got branches throughout the country. Now, if these 5 branches or 10 branches are doing badly, what do? You hone into them, take your people, fix that, and carry on. What is happening here is they lump it into clusters. And what is happening, there's a one style for all. Now, Johannesburg Central, and you know Johannesburg itself, there's 1 million people coming in daily, working, traveling, in transit. I mean, the activity there is huge in the last 20 years since the dawn of from 1994. If they can re-look at Joburg Central as a standalone and fix it, because if you can fix Johannesburg Central, you fix Brixton and the surrounding police stations. You go to Hillbrow, which is our neighbor. Fix 4 or 5 of them. Obviously, the crime will maybe go a little bit out of that area, but you fix that or try and curtail, then go to the next area, you understand? Right. But management, like take for instance, in 2018 there were 712 personnel at Johannesburg Central. Current status is below 500. Now, in that you must remember this days off, sick leave. So your numbers, like this, there's 6 sectors in Johannesburg Central. Now, if you know Johannesburg, it starts at N Street, goes into all the cash and carries right into Crown Mines, those areas. I would reckon there's R1 billion worth of turnover per day, cash being run in that area. That's cash. We're talking about unbanked business. Now, if you talk about crime, robberies, murders, rapes, it's all related to high amount of cash moving in that area, because at night, people got cash. They're being taken away or going home or at the bus or at the taxi ranks. So if they can look at Johannesburg Central as almost a parliament to sort the problem out, put in sufficient, we as a community, as business, will support it. I'll give you a small example. We have a lot of areas around Johannesburg Central where the pickers, you know, the waste pickers. Now, that's a serious problem. Stats they're showing murders, right? Now, those murders, most of them, or 60% of them, happen at those the collection points. Now, we are dealing with those people who own those dumps, right? But apparently it's an international company from Dubai who's got that. We need to bring them on board, and it cannot be business as usual. They have to come on board and listen also. And we've met with them. We're putting a plan together with them to see if we can sort that problem, because a lot of crime is happening around that, and the people who are collecting that type of waste are staying in the areas on the pavements. So we're having a multi-type of problem.
Let's hear from the police and what they have to say. Brigadier, let's bring you back in here. So it's a complaint that is generally raised, Brigadier Maduna, that you've got the 4 areas, right? You've got, of course, the input from the community. You've got the input from the police, and then you've got what you mentioned, the feedback that needs to come in terms of the crime stats to the people and so forth and so on and so forth. Currently, the feeling is that policing in the country becomes centralized at the department or at the police station, and we need to move away from that practice, because that practice means police are always reactive in terms of their policing, and we need a more decentralized policing structure where you are talking to policing forums, and the approach is more problem solving. So they tell you that this is the amount of money that's in movement here. Here's a dump site where all these things happen, and you intervene then at that level, more than just the top-down kind of approach where you set up your own strategies that do not speak to the communities.
No, you are correct, but let me rectify this one. We're having 5 sectors. And I think the counterpart, the gentleman, CPF of Johannesburg Central, who just indicated about the dumping site. Kagiso is just a unique area because at the moment we're having a serious problem in terms of the illicit mining. If you look in terms of the Kagiso and the surrounding, definitely it's bad. And when we're conducting, because there is an instruction from the district commissioner and the province to say, in order for us to be able to eradicate this illicit mining, we have to conduct the illegal mining on a weekly basis. So when we conduct the illegal mining and causing disruptive operations, surely at night we will be picking up the bodies lying on the street, because normally what is happening during our operation, we confiscate the gold-bearing materials. The gold-bearing materials, in short, it's all the equipment that these people are using when they're dealing with this, the zamazamas, when they're dealing with illegal mining. And also what I wanted to highlight, Kagiso also is one area that I think is very huge, where I can simply say we're having 4 hostels. And you can imagine when we're having 4 hostels, when a crime like this, when you're talking contact. When we're talking contact crime, we're talking murders, attempted murder, we're talking assault, GBH, common assault, common robbery, robbery aggravating, where people have been robbed their vehicles. But let me go back to the issue of the murders. These people came from different areas and look for places around hostels. And then when they kill each other, normally they run away back to their original areas where they're coming from. But we're not leaving it as it is. We make follow-ups because we're also utilizing the informers as well as our contacts. And we arrest. If we also look in terms of our murders, for example, even though we did not do very well for this quarter, but there is a high number of arrests in single cases that we conducted. So in short, what I wanted to say is, and there's a place called Ishamdo. That is where we're experiencing a property crime, because it's a business area where these people are going and steal. And nowadays, these zamazamas are also looking for
Okay, Brigadier Maduna, we'll try and improve that connection there. Bit of a challenge there, getting to that connection this evening. We'll come back with Brigadier Maduna as well as the Thokan Chairperson of the Johannesburg Central CPF. Still looking to get Kutlwano, Moalosi, Diepsloot Community Policing Forum Secretary there to get on the line with us. What do you think? You can give us your thoughts tonight. 072-110-5584. Otherwise, you can tweet at Newzroom 405.
We don't talk because they are obviously police, so we can't say a lot of things. But at the end of the day, I feel like police, they're corrupt.
I don't believe in the policing system in this country.
They attend to crime, you know what I mean, they can protect us. So I think they're doing a really good job.
Back tonight on In Focus, and look at the efficiency and effectiveness of policing in the Gauteng province. Now, calls have been made, particularly via a bill that is currently being debated in the legislature around the decentralization of power, but also more involvement of communities in the oversight of police via the MEC. And the approach is that each and every province and each and every metro should be looking at its own policing needs, so to speak, because each area is unique in terms of the challenges that it faces, as opposed to taking crime stats and coming up with one strategy, one size fits all kind of approach, which seemingly is not working, Saleem.
That's right. That's exactly what you're saying. I'll give you a very good example. The SAP-13, there was a big problem with Norwood Police Station with guns missing. Now, when previously we had General Mpembe, who was the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, but he was our commissioner at the station, what used to happen is every 3 months, as a CPF executive, one person used to go with the Vispol head or person who's in charge of the SAP-13 and go and do an oversight to see if things are in order. And we basically balanced off the books.
Yeah.
That all fell away. I mean, the CPFs are not, I don't say they must allow us into the thing, but at least we kept a check.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had that.
Do you think, sorry, let me just come in. Do you think CPFs are a good technique of building partnership in crime prevention?
Yes, because you see, CPF firstly is legislation. It's we are a legislative body, right? So your security forums, all clusters that may relate, everybody, most of them can work through us. So say if there's monies to be spent or monies to be given, as CPF, we can take that monies and account for it and spend it via the CPFs. From, like, we've got FNB, who's our partner in town at the FNB at the Bank City, where we've got patrollers there. There's 16 patrollers there, trained by the MC's office. We look after them as CPFs and as Johannesburg Central policing SEPs. That works, and they are happy, and they pay towards it. Similarly, the High Court precinct. I don't know if you went to Johannesburg High Court lately.
Yeah.
Now, CPFs were part of SEPs, JMPD, and all agencies in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
We formed that with the Judge President and cleaned up that area.
Right.
You can eat from the ground there. It's clean. You can go at night. It's safe.
Yeah.
We've been approached by the buildings around that area, small street, right around there, to do the same thing, which we are busy trying to put together. So I say that I'm not saying CPFs is the only these business, other business for it, but I'm saying it's an avenue to go in much quicker than applying to give a donation.
Right.
We do all the paperwork for people who want to come on board and help or assist. You know, we've got a project going on cameras in town, and all the hotspots areas, about 11 of them. So 6 of them we're going to install in the next 2-3 weeks. That's going to be paid by the CPF via the communities or businesses, right? And we're going to monitor that. And we are asking the police commissioner or the provincial commissioner, if this thing works and we roll out more, to give us 2 rapid response vehicles dedicated to those cameras for Johannesburg Central.
Yeah.
So what happens is, like how the security companies, they are in business to make money.
Yes.
CPFs are not in business to make money. We are there to keep all of us safe.
Right.
If he gives us 2 vehicles, we have our own control room, our own cameras, monitored by SEPs and the cameras. I believe with the 2 rapid response, and we've got about 10 motorbikes waiting to go out. They are not trained, licensed police officers, because most of them got driver's license, but not. But now we're going to that.
Okay, I'm going to come to that a little bit more, the gaps in terms of training. But Brigadier, let's bring you back in. Now, considering the touch points that you've touched on the mining, the zamazamas, you've touched on the issues of cable theft as well. Would you support a bill that seeks to give powers to provinces and metros that have unique crime challenges to determine the strategies for those type of areas, as opposed to a broad strategy that is, I suppose, determined at national for you?
Definitely, I would support that. Like at the moment, what is happening, when we're having this illegal mining, we also have joint structures with the mining securities, and we're also utilizing very equipment that can be able to help us in terms of utilizing the drones. So definitely I would agree and support that, so that we can be able to eliminate this illegal mining that is happening all over our policing precinct.
Yeah.
Because if you look again, there's a lot of mines that are not rehabilitated. That's where the problem is. And these people are using those space to hide themselves and conduct these businesses of theirs. But nevertheless, when we're having our own information, which is correct, we're not afraid of these people, we went there and arrest. However, even when we're conducting our own operation, we look into our operational concept. We go there, look the entrance and exit route, and when we go there, we close off everything, and surely at the end of the day, there are successes. That is also an advice from the provincial commissioner to say he doesn't want us, when we're conducting our operation, we just stand and say, there are these people running away. We need to come with plans. However, what I wanted to say is, surely I will agree 100% so that our operations are always successful.
Yeah. How do you screen? Sorry, before you go on, how do you screen those companies or security companies or technology companies like the drone companies that you introduce into your crime prevention, and how do you further train them, as Saleem is raising, as far as gaps are concerned, in terms of their training in how to conduct these campaigns?
You see, maybe there might be a gray area, because these security companies, when we're drawing up our operational plan, planning to go and conduct an operation, we engage with the mines, and the mines are the ones that are saying, okay, we're giving you this manpower so that you can be able to address all your shortcomings, particularly because these people at the mines, they also having their own TRT. The people that can be able to get inside this main hole and approach these people underneath. And they are helping us a lot for us to be able to arrest. The only problem that we're having at the moment was the rehabilitation of these mines so that the mines can be closed that are not working. And we can be able, I think, to have a way forward in terms of addressing all those things.
What is the challenge there? What is the bottleneck in having those mines rehabilitated?
No, the bottleneck.
Yeah.
Come again.
What is the bottleneck in having the mines rehabilitated?
No, the bottleneck is this mine belongs to specific people, of which we must engage with these people and make sure that these mines are rehabilitated. But however, we've been given the marching orders by the district commissioner as well as the provincial commissioner to say almost on a weekly basis, particularly on Wednesday, we must have our own stakeholder meetings. At least there is a progress, because we can be able to identify. Like myself, if I can say, in Kagiso, there is one that we call Lancaster. We engage with those people, but most probably you find the owners are not around. But we engage the relevant people so that we can be able to get hold of these people, of which that is what is happening, engage with those people, and come with a plan as to how these mines can be rehabilitated. Because surely these murders, particularly and attempted murders, they are the ones that are causing these serious challenges in our policing process.
And in as far then as this issue that is being raised of the executive not currently addressing the public concerns about police inefficiencies effectively, how do we resolve that issue, right? There's a proposed independent provincial police ombuds office that can be established for public to put their complaints there as far as police service is concerned, not just police brutality, but generally the service that people receive at police stations.
I think that question is relevant, and I agree with it. Hence, I'm saying we normally on Wednesday, as per directive, having our stakeholder meetings. Maybe when the time progresses, we might be able to make a difference and make sure that we deal with these things decisively on the spot. Because at one stage we had a problem with the people that were responsible for mineral and energy. They came and visit. We went to these places to see as to whether what is happening. And when we find these people that are dealing with illegal mining, there were some utterances that says that these people are using this illicit mining for them to be able to make money, of which somehow, it was a little bit of a discrepancy, because if people are doing something, they must do it correctly. So those issues are the issues that normally we engage with the relevant mining companies, so that we can be able to see as to whether at the end of the day we cannot reach an amicable agreement, so that we can deal with them and finalize. Because at one stage, we take it, hence we say we must not be brutal. We take it very seriously. We even went, check, and then we give them warning to say, if they don't come out of those mines, we will be utilizing our tear gases. But again, as human beings, we understand to say when we utilize the tear gas on people that are in a confined space underneath the ground, it's becoming a problem, because those people, something might happen to them. And at the end of the day, the police might be pointed with fingers to say they went to a specific mine and they killed people. So that is why normally when we're conducting our operation, it's a multidisciplinary operation where we include almost everybody to be part of the operation. At the end of the day, our operation yields results.
Right, a reminder once again, we're inviting your opinion on the following question. Do you trust the police to protect you from crime? Please reply yes or no. We'll bring the results in just a moment. Or otherwise, send us a WhatsApp video to the number 072-110-5584. Or you can send your comments there as well. And you can send us your tweets on the Twitter handle @Newzroom405. Here's one coming from Twitter tonight from Thokan, saying police respond mainly to committed crime. They can only prevent crime before it happens if sufficient information is provided. We are responsible to protect ourselves rather from crime. Hence, we are entitled to self-defense. Mwekesi saying this was a debate that we had a million times before, and the answers are still the same even today. The answers are still the same. You're back tonight here on In Focus and the policing situation in the Gauteng province. Under the spotlight, we have with us the Johannesburg Central CPF Chairperson, Saleem Thokan, as well as Kagiso Police Station Commander Brigadier Themba Maduna, and taking some of your thoughts as well tonight on Twitter @Newzroom405, or otherwise you sending us your messages on 072-110-5584. Before the break, we were talking about the challenges in Kagiso, but Saleem, I want to bring you in here. The part of what we need is implementing a 24-hour police visibility strategy in the province. Why is it not happening? Is it just a question of lack of resource, lack of vehicles, lack of human resource? I mean, other political parties have raised issues like police stations are not equipped with the basic infrastructure and technology requirements like electricity, sanitation, and things like the internet.
We're lucky we don't have that problem. We have a problem, as you say, resources, right? There's 6 sectors in Johannesburg Central, covering from N Street unto Crown Mines, right? So there's only 6 sector vehicles operating 24 hours. Now, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 vehicles are in the police repairs. Now, I'll give you an example this week. 4 vehicles are in the police garage for repairs. What they needed? Batteries, right? We bought the batteries for them. Said, here's the batteries, go fit them on and get those vehicles back on the... We've offered to pay for certain things that can get that vehicle back on the road. Like markings. You will see a lot of time we say a call sign, the JC call sign needs to be there. These vehicles get delivered to us, no call signs. I said, give us the vehicle details or the call sign. We'll make them according to SAP's requirement, give them to you, and you put them on. We are saying that we are prepared. We can't do a miracle. We've got a very limited budget. But what I'm saying, whatever we can do, we will try our best to do. Just give you an example, going back to this document here. In 2018, we talked about foreign nationals coming to the country, whether legally or illegally. Now, we made the point that these people come into the country and they land up into our policing precinct. And the cooling off period is in the Johannesburg Central area. Now, we gave it in this document and told them about it. It took 2 minutes to go to the airport to find these 8 people who came from various countries into illegally through, I don't know which source. They are our problems, you understand, because they come in, within 5-6 days, they start businesses, cash businesses, they open up stores. We don't have a problem with them. But they come in, we don't even know who they are. They come into our areas. How do you police that?
Yeah.
So we are saying that I think a lot of companies, a lot of communities are prepared to assist the police. I think the police must also start trusting people, bringing people into the fold and say, come, help us. There's a lot of big companies. I know there's a station in Senton that's doing very well because the community there is assisting them financially and technology, and that station is doing well. Now, I'm saying in Johannesburg, we also have that same thing. We will bring in the resources and assist people. We don't want anything out of it. We just want a free area that we can walk at night, we can play soccer at night, can do whatever, eat at night. You cannot go out at night in Fort Worth, Mayfair and eat, or go in a plain street or a small street and have a coffee. It's impossible. It's the truth.
Brigadier, I think it's being reiterated, and I'm sure you're hearing that message loud and clear. The formalization of a collaboration between the South African Police Service and community forums, be it policing forums, business forums, or some kind of forums. But having this formalized arrangement, not only that, but having this back and forth of information so that you don't only act once the crime has been committed, but you are given that information. I know you're saying you have these Wednesday stakeholder engagements. I want to put that question to you. To what extent is the community voice being heard in these Wednesdays community stakeholder engagements? I tell you, one of the tweets are saying here, very critical of you, saying, in fact, you surround yourself with your own people, your old friends and old ways of doing things and strategies, but you don't incorporate the ideas, new ideas from the community.
No, when we engage almost every Wednesday, we give each and every role player an opportunity to raise issues that can be able to make a difference in our space. It's an open meeting where everybody can be able to say something else. Because last week, we also had a meeting when we engaged with the mayor of Moalosi. So just imagine, we cannot be able to put words into the mouth of the mayor. We sit down and discuss. Because why we engage the mayor is helping us a lot. Because hence I indicated earlier to say we're having a problem in terms of illegal mining. There are these gold-bearing materials that are mounted on the ground. And for us to be able to remove those, we need an assistant from the office of the mayor, because they're coming with this heavy-duty vehicle and help us to remove them. So everybody is having an opportunity to be able to say whatever a message or engage the police accordingly for us to be able to fight crime. So that is why even the 24-hour, at the moment we're having sector policing, and then we're having police officers that are working 24/7. Yes, I may say maybe somewhere, somehow, due to lack of vehicles, because they are at the garage, we might be able to have, but it's not always. We might be able to have non-availability of vehicles at night, and our community members will be complaining to say we don't see the police around. But we have turned the strategy around, because the instruction that we receive from our principal, also during the course of the week, the station commander, ourselves, it's now our responsibility to go and visit the garages. So when we're talking about the garages, we're talking about our auxiliary garages, the police garages, as well as if our vehicles are damaged or in serious accident. They give us the names and the place. We go there and check as to what is the delay. And then when we engage these people, that is where we make sure that we receive the vehicle as soon as possible, because we want the vehicles on the ground.
Brigadier, we
And
are out of time.
again, to eliminate.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there because of time, but I get the point of what you're trying to make there in terms of the vehicle. But let me thank you very much for giving us your time and for coming on this evening. And Saleem, thank you very much as well the information that you have shared with us today. Let's have a look at your reaction then today. We invited you to give us your opinion on your degree of trust in the police to protect you. But first, let's read this tweet coming from Themba saying, how do you trust criminals in protecting you from crime? That's a question put to us on Twitter. These are the results for today's poll. In Focus asking you this Sunday, do you trust the police to protect you from crime? 91.7% of you saying no. Only 8.3% of you saying yes tonight. That conversation we'll continue to have until we get some answers and some solutions to the challenge of crime that is making the future look bleak for us, for the future of our children, and for the future of this country.